All right, Coach. 95-67 loss to Gannon yesterday. Second game of the season, and pretty back. And you look at the final score and say, "Oh, that was pretty one-sided game." But it was fairly back and forth into the early parts of the second half, and then their three-point shooting just kind of took over.
Well, yeah, it was a very strange game in that, credit Gannon, they shot it great. I don't think we defended very well, but they shot it great. And you got to still make them, even if you're open, you still got to make them. And they did. They made them. But I thought, you're right. Like halftime, we were the 3-point game. We are down three after leading most of the first half, and then we came out in the second half, took the lead, lost it. They hit a couple threes, and I thought, we might be in trouble. And you know what? We responded, and I thought we responded pretty well. And still, with about 10 minutes to go, it was about an 8-point game or so, and just got away from us. Those last 10 minutes have done us in each of these last two games, and we have to figure out a way not to play a 30-minute game, play a 40-minute game, and we'll get there. We'll get there.
Is that to be expected a little bit? You're relying on a lot of freshmen right now who are used to playing 32-minute high school games.
I think I used that in the locker room afterward. I said, the games are 40 minutes. You got to remember that. But I think probably there are a lot of freshmen in there, but we also have some veteran guys and guys who played college basketball. And that can be an excuse that we're not going to use. I mean, we have to be prepared to play. And you know what? Even within those 30 minutes, there were plays that we made that were silly, not smart, not sound basketball plays that we have to eliminate for us to be good. We don't have. I've said this all along. We don't have the margin of error. We don't have the number of guys on the roster. We don't have the amount of experience we've had the last couple of years. The margin of error is smaller for us right now, and we have to understand that. And so, you can't let a team get out in transition. And the Friday night before, the kid Olsen, number one for Gannon, was great. He was maybe really good and really hurt us, got in the lane, and I think it was the second or third play of the game. Andrew Mason missed a good shot, took a three, missed it, and we had terrible transition D. Nobody picked up Olsen, and ended up getting an M1. And at that point, I think we're up 5-0. And I'm saying, you know what? I mean, that has nothing to do with fatigue. That has nothing to do with COVID. It has nothing to do with being playing a 32-minute game or playing freshman. It's just being smart in transition defense. So those are things we have to eliminate to give ourselves a better chance to get a win.
Andrew Cisco, his career has obviously been well documented. He's been as advertised through these first two games, which to me is fairly impressive, given the nature of your roster and having so many new guys. You'd think it would be easy for teams right now to really focus on Cisco even more than they normally would. But he still put up 30 points Friday, another 26 yesterday, two more double doubles. But I think if I'm you, what are you going to ask him to do to be even better?
Well, I think it's as much about leadership too. I think the thing that was great was, and I'll say this. I mean, you would kind of reference this the other night. I think Andrew's the best player ever to wear a Daemen uniform. And no disrespect to Rob Robinson, Dave Skolin, Gerald Beverly. I can go on and on with a lot of really good players who've played here, really good. I think if you look what Andrew has done at this level and the level we've played. I mean, even Brian Grandis, my assistant, said the other night, even the number one team in the country couldn't stop him last year, Northwest Missouri State. And I think that really just speaks to how good a player he is. Now his next step is raising the level of those around him. And that's a tough thing for a great player to do. It's a tough thing. You have to, that's what the truly great ones do. And I think that's what he did. And you know what? He had 3 assists yesterday, which is great. I don't know what his career high in assists is in a game. You would know that. But we didn't shoot it very well. And he had a couple more that probably should have been assists that were good passes, good looks. I've been on him about eliminating turnovers or cutting down on turnovers. And he had a silly one near the end of the game where he would have been 3 assists, 2 turnovers. Instead, he was 3 of 3. So I think all those things, if that's a long-winded answer to tell you, I think the well-roundedness of his game. And it's going to be tough. It's tough when you are the focal point of a scouting report. And I think he's been that way, but he always had Jeff Redband to make some threes or Breon Harris to drive by people, and now you don't have that. You have to make sure those other guys feel confident and feel comfortable in their roles.
One of the new guys that you're relying on right now is Sean Fasciero, who's a graduate transfer, and he's really, along with Cisco, probably your most experienced player, even though this is his first year at Daemen. He seems to me to be a real a tough player out there. He's strong. He's physical. What have you seen from Sean through these first 2 games?
So I think, Sean, you're right. Sean has done some very good things for us in the first 2 games. I think, I go back to, we had Joey Wallace was a grad transfer kind of last year. He was a 1-year transfer, and it took Joey probably about 5 or 6 games to kind of feel comfortable with the way we played and how we're playing and his role. And I think, you kind of see that sometimes in Sean. It's going to take him a little while, but he has an incredible work ethic, really wants to be good. I mean, he was voted captain along with Andrew Cisco, Kyle Harris, and Deshaun Hines, which I think is a pretty cool thing. And a guy who's only been here a few months in a not normal months, as we know, he's been able to, show that he is a leader and that the guys really respect him. I think, Sean's ceiling is even higher than what he's shown so far. I think he can get better. And I think, as he feels more comfortable in his roles here at Daemen, he will really start to thrive.
Last question is kind of a 2-parter. How much do you think?
Usually 2-parters, right?
How much do you think your team benefited from playing a team like Gannon that, for all intents and purposes, has really been practicing for quite a while, certainly longer than your group? And then secondly, how much will this group benefit? We talked Friday night about how, your team had been essentially quarantined up until last week, that 10-day pause, and obviously put a pause in the practices, and that's where guys get better and guys learn. So how much will your team benefit from just getting back on the practice floor this week ahead of 2 games at Roberts Wesleyan coming up?
Well, I think the Gannon question is a good one because they're a very good team. They're 4-0. I mean, they're well coached. They move the ball very well. They're all comfortable in their roles right now. You can see that, and that was a good team for us to play. And it's strange. You look at it. At one point, we were up 20 in the second half on Friday night, and then we're down 25 in the second half on Sunday. And you can see, there are going to be good things. There are going to be bad things early on. Really, realistically, where our team is right now, we're in early November, right? That's what we would be in a normal year. This would be early November, coming off of a couple probably scrimmages and saying, hey, this is where we are. This is what we have to work on. This is what we have to improve on. That's the great thing leading to the second part of the question, that we have practice time this week, that we can, look at the tape, figure out what we got to get better at, figure out how we can adjust some things, and get ready for a very veteran, very experienced, very well coached, and very good Roberts Wesleyan team that we're going to have to be ready for to go on the road and play 2 games there, Saturday and Monday. So this is all part of the whole process right now of us getting ready to go in the conference, and to play a good team like Gannon to get you ready. It gives you 2 good non-conference games that we could say, all right, this is what we got to work on. This is what we're going to take away from this. And hopefully we can learn from it and we can improve heading into Roberts Wesleyan next weekend.
All right. Well, we wish you luck on the practice floor this week, and we'll talk to you probably next weekend after those games at Roberts.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.